Oh, showtime. Ooh. Oh, jeez. Forgot my pocket knife. No. There we go. Gotta be able to open these boxes here. Probably get everything cracked into. We'll probably go through one of the boxes like fully in depth because all the cards are going to be the same. It's just going to be the promo cards that'll really be different. So we'll just kind of do left to right, go through most of the cards in the decks, or at least all of them if we can, and then cover the promo cards at the very end. Which I haven't really read up on what they were again, so be a nice surprise to see what shiny cards we pull into here. Alright, get everything set. Start with box number 1. Hey, what's going on, Jason? Alright. Move this over here. Woo! Alright, well, we already saw one of the promos. Oops. Nice. A lot of stuff in here. Bunch of playmat. Nice. A lot of playmats. Very good. Things are really thick. Look at how extensive this is. There's like 4 of them. You can really do some damage with these. All right, we'll just kind of go from top to bottom here and work our way through. Yeah. Jeez. There we go. Got stuck to my hand. Ultimate Wizardry. Start with our skills. These are usually the ones to go into. Activate the skill. Place up to 1 spell counter on each face-up spellcaster monster you control that you can place one on. Once per turn during your main phase, place a spell counter on a face-up spellcaster monster you control that you can place a spell counter on. Okay, cool. So it's a nice way to just generate spell counters. Very good. Iron Grit. Gear free the Iron Knights you control are unaffected by card effects. Really like that. That's really cool. Whale of a Tail. Discard a card from your hand to add a Fortress Whale or Fortress Whale's Oath from deck to hand. Fortress Whale monster you control gain the following effects. Your opponent cannot target face-up water monsters you control with spell or trap effects. That's actually really nice. If you could build like a nice Fortress Whale focused deck, that'd be really cool. Insect Infestation. Parasites on the field can't be tributed. If all monsters on the field are insect monsters, level 7 or higher insect monsters you control can attack directly. Once per duel, discard a card to place a parasite from your graveyard. Top of your opponent's deck face up. Treat as if it were placed there by its own effect. That's really cool. Intel from the Cosmos. Your opponent must reveal all cards they draw during their draw phase. That's kind of nice. Nice little gimmicky build there. Stalked by the Rare Hunters. Once per duel during your end phase, discard a card and choose 1 monster your opponent's graveyard that was destroyed and sent there this turn. Set it on your field. I was gonna say, wasn't there a vampire skill based around that? Like setting your opponent's cards? I mean, it's the one where you had like Vampire Genesis. You were able to set and steal your opponent's stuff. Now you see them. Once per duel, review. If you have 2 or more Dark Magicians in your hand, reveal your hand. Place any number of Dark Magicians from your hand on the bottom of the deck. Draw cards based on how many you placed. 1, draw 1 card. 2, draw 3 cards. And if you reveal and put back 3, draw 5 cards. It's a nice way to unbrick your hand for sure, which is really cool. Definitely be an interesting strategy there. Slimy Slimes. Once per turn during the main phase, destroy a jam breeding machine you control. A spell or trap your opponent controls. Once per turn during your standby phase, special summon Revival Jam by its own effect this turn. Draw 3 cards. That's really cool. Definitely like that. Pretty far into Pokemon Violet, beat Team Star, the Titans, and became the champ. Next up is Area 0. Oh, nice. Area 0 is a lot of fun. That's definitely one of my favorite areas. It's just such a massive place, but there's so many Pokemon you can catch. Have you jumped into the DLC yet? That's also a ton of fun. Like the Teal Mask, the Indigo Disc. And then they have a third one if you're able to... I think the Petra Run thing is still running, so if you do that as well, that's pretty cool. Add another Pokemon to the Pokedex. Dragon Hunting Swordsman. Once per duel, discard a card to fusion summon a fusion monster that mentions Buster Blader, using monsters from hand or field, standard polymerization. While the only monster you control is Buster Blader or a fusion monster that mentions it, monster opponent's graveyard become dragons. Nice to just boost up and go back to the tried and true Buster Blader OTK. Heart of a Warrior. Once per turn, discard a card to special summon a level 5 or lower non-effect warrior fusion monster from the extra deck. Treat as a fusion summon. Cannot normal summon the turn you activate this skill. That's kind of cool. Sort of specific instant fusion, but like Guilty of the D-Knight, Flame Swordsman. If you're running stuff with like, what was it called? Fusion Weapon, I think was the, I don't know if we have any other like equip spell searching stuff, but Fusion Weapon really helps out with some of the level 6 or lower fusion monsters, really give them an attack boost. So that's a nice little strategy you could do there. A Bountiful Ocean. While Yumi is face up on the field, apply the following. 1. Non-effect water monster you control are unaffected by non-water monsters' effects. 2. Once per turn, you can add a water monster, from graveyard to hand. For the rest of the turn, cannot activate cards or effects until you normal summon that monster or card with its name. Interesting. My Precious Queen gets normal summon level 7 insect monsters for 1 less tribute. Once per turn during the end phase, special summon an insect monster token. It's a level 1 earth insect with 100 attack and defense. Token can't be tribute summoned except for the tribute summon of an insect monster or their effects. Oh, you can't even tribute it unless it's tribute for an insect monster or by its effect, like Insect Queen. Tribute an insect monster from your hand instead when attacking with Insect Queen monsters you control. That's kind of cool. Bit more to just help out with Insect Queen. The Machine Menace. Once per duel, if your opponent controls a face-up trap, tribute a machine or psychic monster you control to special summon a Jinzo from hand or graveyard. Nice way to just get Jinzo out on the field. Collector. Once per duel, if your opponent controls a monster, discard 2 cards with different card types, monster, spell, or trap, then add from deck to hand a card with the 3rd type. Very good. A Terrible Fate. Once per duel during your end phase, tribute a face-up spellcaster monster you control. Then your opponent destroys 1 card they control or sends 1 card from their hand to the graveyard, their choice. Kind of like, I think Ectoplasm is the one that it's kind of like parodying off of, where you just tribute your monsters and have to burn out, but this one's kind of more of just a nice removal or hand rip option. Slimy Disposition. Once per turn, you can special summon a humanoid slime or worm drake from graveyard in attack position. Cannot be tributed except for the tribute summon of a divine beast monster. Once per turn, you can discard a card to then fusion summon a humanoid worm drake using either worm drake or humanoid slime from field as one of the materials and the other material from your deck. Interesting. It's a nice way to just get up tribute fodder or just go for a fusion build just to get some attack in, which is pretty decent. Malicious Motivation. Once per duel, if your opponent controls 3 monsters, discard a card to destroy all monsters they control, and for the rest of this turn, all damage they take is halved. Bit situational, but that is pretty awesome to just basically discard a card and then just clear out the field so you can come in. Kaiba Corp Research. Once per duel, shuffle a monster from graveyard into the main deck, send a card from your hand to the graveyard. During your next draw phase, draw 2 cards instead of 1. Interesting. Battle City Siren. Once per turn during your main phase, change the battle position of 1 monster your opponent controls. This turn, the first attack you declare must attack that monster. It's going to be used twice per duel. It's kind of nice. Premature Material. Once per duel, lose 800 life points. Reveal a fusion monster in your extra deck. Special summon a normal monster from your graveyard whose name is mentioned on that fusion monster's material, but its attack and defense becomes 0. Oh, so it's like a premature burial, but it helps out with some of the fusion stuff. Which is kind of cool. It doesn't really specify like any type of fusion. So if you're just running like a fusion-centric build and you want to recover material, that's kind of nice. Did briefly the Teal Mask one, but I wanted to finish the main story before doing that. Caught a Puchiana before I left. Nice. Yeah, the Teal Mask is really fun. I just really liked exploring Kitakami for the first time. Just running around completely open. And even like going through the story, through up the mountain and such was really cool. Alright, I believe this is Yugi's deck. We got Summon Skull. Or no, maybe this is just generic stuff. Brain Crusher. Once per turn during the end phase, destroy an opponent's monster by battle and send it to the graveyard this turn while you controlled it. Target one of those destroyed monsters in the graveyard, special summon that target. So it's a nice, like, YuGiOh Guardian-esque of monster stealing. Why are you... Okay. Some cards are flip face over. Chaos Command Magician. Negate any monster effects that target this one card. Crossword Beetle. Piercing damage, but you have to control another insect. Gear free, the Red Eyes Iron Knight. This is really nice. Really great for those equip spells and just sort of like Red Eyes decks. Goblin Attack Force. This was fun to run back in the day. Maiden of Macabre. Magical Marionette. Used to run this guy a little bit. Spell card is activated. Place a spell counter on this card. When it resolves, gains 200 attack for each counter on it. Remove two counters to target and destroy a monster on the field. Yeah, that was really fun to pull off. Load up with counters and then just start popping stuff. Especially with Breaker the Magical Warrior, where you could just really clear out the field pretty quickly. Pump Princess, the Princess of Ghosts. It's like Pumpkin, but tiny. I believe it comes like a continuous spell, too. Red Eyes Baby Dragon. Reversible Beetle. Nice little insect flip. Warrior of Atlantis to grab a legendary ocean from deck to hand. Zera the Mant. I always liked this guy. I might build like a ritual deck built around him, but it was always just cool to run back in the day. Acid Rain to get rid of those machines. Book of Taiyu just for those flip decks. Exchange, very iconic. Last Day of Witch to get rid of spellcasters. Megaton Magical Cannon. Remove 10 spell counters on your field to destroy all cards your opponent controls. Requires a bit of setup, but it's pretty powerful. Or you could just give it to Magical Marionette and get like 2,000 power instead. Zera Ritual. Zera the Mant. Barrel Behind the Door. Always cool looking. Exhausting Spell. That anti-spell counters. Very good. Magical Arm Shield. Blowback Dragon. Used to run this guy. He was cool. Mine the Thorn. More of the Dark Scorpion stuff, which I do enjoy and need. Gorg the Strong. Very good. Skilled Red Magician for those Archfiends and spell counters. Legendary Ocean. Book of Moon. Hey, there's Fusion Weapon. Very good. Hammer Shot. Lost Wind. Metal Reflect Slime. And Wall of Disruption. Really nice trap cards there. Let's see if we can open this tiny pack. Warrior of Atlantis. Yeah, it looks really cool. It reminds me of there's an elemental hero monster, I think Ocean, that it kind of looks like. So it's cool to see. But yeah, pretty standard discard to search out your field spell type card. Trying to get this pack open here. There we go. There's no like indent to rip into, so I kind of had to poke at it a bit. All right. Oh no, it stuck me. Sorry for the delay. Back in action with the Legendary Fisherman. I'll just make like a giant pile and organize them out later. Air Orca from the Generation Fish, along with Fly Fang. Nice little banish focus stuff. That's kind of what I'm sort of focusing on when I build out some of my Umi or Legendary Fisherman decks. Needle Sunfish, always a classic. Oystermeister, I just like his name. The Oystermeister. Piercing Moray. Maiden of the Aqua. While there's no face of field spell, the field is treated as Umi. Kind of an interesting gimmick there. Fiend Kraken. 7-colored fish. Legendary Fisherman number 2. There's Fortress Whale. Salvage. Umi. Water Hazard. Big Wave, Small Wave. Surface. Fortress Whale's Oath. There's a lot of really good just like spells in the water focus deck. You could definitely build like an Umi, Fortress Whale, or just like a Legendary Fisherman deck. You could definitely get a lot of mileage out of that. Tornado Wall, Fish Depth Charge. Paleozoic, that's nice. Thoughts on the Pokemon Legends Z trailer? I thought that's pretty cool. I was kind of hoping for like some Gen 2 remakes, but beggars can't be choosers, so I'm excited for it. I'll definitely be playing it. Kind of hoping they start porting some of the like classic Game Boy stuff onto the Switch store. Although that might just be wishful thinking, but hopefully they send more stuff our way. It'd be cool to definitely get that all ported over. I think they can make a good amount of money for that. Insect Queen, very nice. Parasite, been seeing a lot of skills for those two. Chainsaw Insect, if you wanted to really mill your opponent out. Magnetic Mosquito. It's kind of like Acid Rain, but as a flip monster. Prickle Fairy. Howling Insect, nice little recruiter for your insects. Resonance Insect, kind of similar to Howling, but it adds from deck to hand and it goes for the higher level ones. So if you already have an established field, you can just search out Queen with that to get her tributed. Parasite Paranoid, I believe he did get limited or semi-limited for speed duels. Let's keep that in mind. Pinch Hopper. This one basically recruiter, but from hand, so that's also another way to get him out. Insect Princess. Insect monster opponent controls or changes to attack position. Destroys an insect by battle, gains 500 attack. Goki Bore. Metal Armored Bug, again, more insect-based stuff. Multiplication of Ants, just get those tokens and just sort of fill out your field. Insect Barrier, stop your opponent's stuff from going off. Verdant Sanctuary. Eradicating Aerosol, just wipe the field when you're ready to go. Spider Egg. DNA Surgery. Dust Tornado. Widespread Ruin. Kind of interesting. Definitely like Dust Tornado, though. It's a classic one. We got the Jinzo, the man himself. We got Jinzo Lord as well. Jinzo Returner. So nice little Jinzo package here. Reflect Bounder. Destructotron. Getting some psychic monsters. When 5Ds definitely comes out, or at least some of the Speed Duel stuff, I'll definitely build like a Psychic Synchro deck. I definitely like seeing Destructotron. Dr. Frankenderp. Good enough. The Fiend Mega Cyber. Spell Canceller. Cyber Raider. For those equips. YuGiOh. Cyber Energy Shock. Cosmos Channeling. So some of the new stuff as well. Gift of the Martyr. Amplifier for Jinzo. Foolish Burial, set up that graveyard. Cosmic Cyclone, very nice. Creature swap. Psychic Shockwave, especially with all the traps, just being able to get a Jinzo going from the deck is pretty cool. Mind Crush and Draining Shield. So a bit of traps of your own as well. Definitely like Psychic Shockwave being included. I think it also works with just like generic... What was it, level 6 Dark Machines? Yeah, level 6 Dark Machine monster from deck. So you can kind of make it a little bit more generic and go into some other stuff as well. It does kind of turn... I mean, there are ways to get Jinzo out on the field, so it's not too tough. You'd have to use the skill, but if you're focusing more of the Jinzo route, that makes him less of a Garnet. 3 could also just special summon from field or hand or graveyard, excuse me, with the Menacing Machine skill. Alright, onto the Dark Magician pile here. Skill Dark Magician for the Dark Magician stuff, obviously. Alchemist of Black Spells. Blast Magician, more spell counter stuff. Dark Magician Girl herself, very good. Buster Blader. White Magician for the Buster Blader. Breaker the Magical Warrior, a classic, fan favorite there. Apprentice Magician, so you got the Apprentice engine along with Magician of Faith. Old Vindictive Magician for those pops as well. Malice Dispersion. Discard a card, destroy all face-up continuous traps. The Jinzo method or package also works as well. Mage Power for extra beatdown. Sword of Poison, very good. Spell Power Grasp, excuse me. I always give you 2 copies, which is nice. Definitely helps out with just filling out those decks and getting those spell counters. Destruction Swordsman Fusion. Miracle Restoring for the Monster Reborn of Dark Magician or Buster Blader. Pitch Black Power Stone, ready for intercepting. Hey, Dark Paladin. Might build a deck for him. Gear for the Iron Knight. Oh, they give us 2. Marauding Captain. I'll get 2 of you, but oh well. Time Wizard, Rocket Warrior. Little Wingard, classic. Command Knight. Used to have a bunch of these like Joey Warrior cards. Freed the Matchless General. Alligator Sword. Baby Dragon. Roulette Spider. Dice Foon. Graceful Dice, a lot of his dice stuff. Polly, Rhoda, Lightning Blade, United We Stand, Blast with Chain, classic combo with Gearfried, Skull Dice, Kunai with Chain. Oh, that's a really cool card art. Haven't seen that one before. Didn't even know it had like an alt art. Carbonala Warrior, very good. Does it have to be a level 5? I'm gonna go back to that skill for a second. Is it level 5 or lower that I can special summon from the extra deck? Level 5 or lower. Ooh, so I could do Carbonala Warrior. So that kind of opens the door a bit. That's kind of cool. Guilty of the D-Knight. Flame Swordsman is the one you'll mostly go into, but it is kind of cool that you can get a little bit of variety that way. Alligator Sword Dragon. Thousand Dragon. Honestly, I just do like a gear-free focus Speed Duel beatdown deck and then just tag in fusion support stuff. So you can do gear-free plays with like Blast with Chain, but you can also do stuff with your fusion warriors if you wanted. Come on. Man, they really got to seal these up. It's really hard to get into some of the little packs here. There we go. Agreed, I definitely want to play a Gen 3 game. I'm on the same page there, Jason. It's definitely what I'm thinking of doing is revisiting and playing through the entirety of Emerald again. I just gotta... When I visit my parents again, I'll definitely grab my old box of like Game Boy and Game Boy games. Fire up probably Emerald and Leaf Green as well. Just go through the classics, you know? Red Eyes Black Dragon. Very good. Gear Golem, the Moving Fortress. Used to use this guy quite a bit. Voltic Kong. That's pretty cool. Aeronite Parshath. Very good. Dark Red Enchanter. Spell counter stuff. Looks really cool. I really like his artwork. Twin Barrel Dragon. Hannibal Necromancer. Okay, so it pops traps on the field. Uses spell counters. Very cool. Very menacing. More Magician of Faith. Mask of Darkness for that trap card recovery. Spear Karibo. Classic. Ledger of Ledgerman. Allure of Darkness. Twister. Night Beam. A lot of really good spells and traps here. Nobleman of Crossout. It's a classic. Pineapple Blast. Normal summon a monster. If opponent controls more monsters than you do, your opponent chooses a monster they control equal number of monsters you control, and you destroy all of their monsters they did not choose. Well, that's interesting. Metalmorph. Michizere. The Forceful Checkpoint. Floodgate Trap Hole. A lot of really good traps there. Chaosai the Ghost Stopper. It's a bit of a new one. Shaolin the Prophet. Yeah, I think we're in the Arcana deck because he has a lot of obscure like spellcasters. Anarchist Monk Ranshin. Meiko, Master of Barriers. Kaiko the Ghost Destroyer. Legion the Fiend Jester. Double Costin. Seal Master Masai. Hey! Alt Art Dark Magician. Oh, he comes with 2. Anti-Magic Arrows. Talisman of Trap Sealing. Dark Magic Curtain. Thousand Knives. Dark Magic Attack. Summoner's Art. Talisman of Spell Sealing. Birthright. Dark Renewal. And they're really loading us up on good stuff. Revival Jam. 2 copies. Humanoid Slime. The Worm Drake. The Reactor Slime. That's a good one. Muka Muka. Enraged Muka Muka. Magical Reflect Slime. Sinister Serpent. Mother Grizzly. Nice little recruiter engine. Jam Breeding Machine. 2 copies. Emergency Provisions. Infinite Cards. Token Sunday. Polymerization. Jam Defender. Solemn Wishes. Token Stampede. And Humanoid Worm Drake. Woo! How menacing. All right. We'll go through the other boxes. At least through the promo stuff. We've already visited most of the main deck cards, so... Whoops. So I'll just kind of leave these guys in the background here. We'll definitely get them sleeved and organized for all the decks for later, but... Alright. Time to get in the promos. They all look the same. Are they throwing in all the same promo cards? Oh, in which case... That'll still be cool, though. Alright. Jump right into it. Dark Magician. Very nice. Slifer the Sky Dragon. Red Eyes Black Dragon. Ooh, Gearfree the Iron Knight. That's a really good secret. Kaiku the Ghost Destroyer. Summon Skull. Dust Tornado. The Legendary Fisherman. I was wondering where Slifer was at. I was like, wasn't he supposed to be in the deck? I guess he's secret only. That's really cool. This other one starts with Dark Magician, so I'm wondering if they're all supposed to be the same. Dark Magician, Slifer, Summon Skull. Oh no, they aren't. They'll start with Dark Magician, but everything's different after that. Reflect Bounder, Night Beam. Ooh, Exchange. That's a really cool looking secret creature swap. Mind Crush. Slifer, Sky Dragon. Okay, cool. Very nice. A lot of Dark Magicians here, which is very good. Hopefully get another Gear Free the Iron Knight, because I kind of want to try that like Instant Fusion Warrior deck. Now the gears are starting to turn once I've seen these skill cards. Dark Magician, Slifer the Sky Dragon, another Reflect Bounder, Dust Tornado, really good secret rare. Ooh, Marauding Captain, Widespread Ruin. Opponent's monster declares an attack, destroy one attack position monster opponent controls with the highest attack. Okay. Oh, this is like a alt art for it. I was gonna say, wasn't Widespread Ruin doesn't it look a bit different? Like an explosion? I didn't realize that. Anti-Magic Arrows and Dark Renewal is a secret rare. So they want Dark Magician. Cool. When is the next Pokemon opening? We have quite a bit of backlog for streams. I'm trying to... Next week? No. Maybe in like 3 weeks, possibly? 3 to 4 weeks, potentially. We'll have to, I'll have to consult with the team to figure out how we want to do this, because we have about 3 or 4 streams to go through. We do have Pokemon stuff to open into. I just know next week we want to do like a mystery box we're opening into. We have no idea what it is. It was a very generous gift, but we have no idea what's in the box. So we're doing that one. But I might be able to do one after that for Pokemon if you really want. But we do have Pokemon stuff if you want it, Jason. We'll do that for you. All right, this was really good. I didn't realize so many of these were secret rares. Really like that Dust Tornado. A lot of Dark Magicians, which I think is cool. Oh man, secret rare, gear free. Definitely in the mood to build out that warrior deck. Also like a Red Eyes one too, just using like the gear free Red Eyes version. There's a lot of good stuff here. Definitely gonna get these all sleeved up and worked on immediately. I have a team. I do. I have like a bunch of people I usually consult on like deck profiles, or they just kind of like give advice for when we do live streams and such. A lot of go-to people I go for advice, so it's usually how that breaks down. But yeah, I do have a team technically. 3 to 4 weeks, that's a long time. Yeah, we'll try and get it in a little bit sooner. I know next week we want to do the mystery box, but we'll try and do the Pokemon thing in 2 weeks. Hopefully get that going sooner for you. Oh, jeez. Dropping boxes. All right, very good. Definitely get to work on sleeving a lot of this stuff. I just really like some of these skill cards. These are just really nice. Definitely going to help out a lot of Speed Duel decks here, but we'll get these sleeved up. Get some Speed Duel decks prepped in the coming weeks as well. Just so we can get back to deck profile content. I know we got Gold Pride coming up in a couple days. Is Lestat on the team? Lestat is. I know Lestat's busy with school, though, recently, so I don't bug him too much on stuff, but I usually go with him if you're ever doing, like, live streams, or I'm working on deck profiles that I know he could lend, like, an insightful hand to. Lestat's definitely. I know he's kind of got his own thing going, so I usually don't bug him too much, because, again, he's doing a lot of the film school stuff. But definitely excited to see him do more, like, short-term projects, however I can help, but I'd definitely say Lestat's part of the team. He's got to be. He's been like one of the first people I started watching when he was doing like big Yu-Gi-Oh streams years ago. Back in the day. Whew. But I think this pretty much covers all the ground we have for all the Speed Duel stuff. I'll definitely get a more like itinerary or list going of all the stuff we got to break into, and I'll start sleeving up these decks so we can get some more profiles coming in the near days, but Got a lot of work cut out for us, but we'll try and get out content as soon as we can for you guys. But in any case, that should do it for today's live stream. Thank you all for watching and for joining in more Speed Duel content. We'll see you all with